Hello and welcome back to Smite Draft League. We are still in the playoffs, and now we're going to take a look at Godlike today. I'm iNooblet, joined by Chirotonsor, or whatever you want to call him. He was the captain of the Stormcallers for Divine, had a fantastic season, and happy to have him on the desk with me. How are you doing today, Chiron?
I'm doing great. I'm excited for this Godlike semifinals. It's going to be a good one. We have two very strong teams,
Yep, we're
and I
looking
just
at
can't
the
wait to get into it.
Stormcallers and the Flourish. So, it's been kind of hit or miss with games with Godlike this season, but whenever we do get them, man, are they exciting, and especially Flourish. If you remember Ibba on Flourish, getting that pentakill on Pele, hard to forget that one, the quickest one we've had in history, and then taking on the Stormcallers, which has a lot of familiar names. But we're going to go ahead and jump into picks and bans and see what we can see.
I can't imagine that we see any gods like Chernobog, Raijin, Athena, Charon get through, but maybe they have different stuff in mind.
Yeah, what would you like to see come out of the top picks from a divine type, or not a divine, excuse me, a godlike type game?
I think they can probably try to play for the Pele or the Chernobog or the Athena top pick. Those are probably what I would go for top three because they are just so lane dominant. You could also go Chernobog there and just be able to rotate around and impact the whole map.
It's kind
That's
of
always
it's kind of funny this meta how supports have been sort of a top pick, top ban. You don't see that too often in the history of Smite, but it is here, and I don't mind it because I guess supports aren't really known for winning games, right? But when you put them in the hands of a skilled player coming out of Godlike, they really can win games, especially someone like an Ares who we see taken off the board here next to the Athena and Raijin.
yeah. The Ares and Athena can just kind of run a game if they get control of it. And godlike players are so good at controlling the game that you just don't want to give them the free win. And we see the Chernobog ban, so they don't want to deal with the global pressure.
Susano ban. Susano has been a top pick, top ban, but you got to imagine with Pele being at the top of the meta right now, and also what Ibba did on Pele, that if they're not banning it here, it might be because they want to take it for themselves on Stormcallers.
Yeah, and what I think is a little weird is there's still Ganesha open,
True, yeah. I mean, you got to leave one of them
and
open, right?
and Ganesha kind of just shuts down Susano pretty well. So it's interesting that they just take the Susano away, unless they're
See,
going for Ganesha top pick.
and it does look like they're going to try and get the Pele first. They do lock that in. So now we have Pele top pick for the Stormcallers, first one locked in, and a good one to have locked in. See how Flourish answer back here.
Well, Ganesha's open. I mean, there's so many good gods open right now. The meta is so crazy, like large per se. Like there's what, seven top picks, and Asilla is
Wow.
interesting.
So Ostrich does pilot the Scylla very well. It's definitely not meta right now, but I don't think that hurts at all to get that sort of pick for Chubby Ostrich in the mid lane.
Game one, semifinals, playing a comfort pick. I like it. Get all the nerves out game one, playing on the comfort. I'm perfectly okay with that as we see the Jingwei locked in.
Another one we don't see too often. So Flores maybe have something in their backpack, maybe have strategized a little bit. Maybe they're just comfort picks, but not something I would say Stormcallers probably prepared for, which may be in their favor quite a bit.
It would definitely throw me off of my game if I saw Scylla Jingwei locked in top two. Now, I imagine we go for support solo here or support ABC here for the Stormcallers.
The
And
new
with
wall hover and locked in. What do you think about Nuwa?
She did just get buffed. She gets a second minion, so her early game is not nearly as bad as it used to be. Um, I haven't seen too much of Nuwa on this patch yet, so I can't say too much, but I think the buff definitely helped her early game out a lot where she struggled. And the
Wow.
Nike
And the
lock.
Nike lock in. I think that's a big mistake coming from Flourish. Azteck is a really good solo laner. We haven't seen him up in Godlike, but we've seen him substitute up in Godlike and is for this game. Fantastic solo laner. And everyone knows his number one comfort pick is Nike. And they just handed that over to him. That's huge for him.
That is a very dangerous combination to let happen. I'm curious what Flourish go to round out their top three. If they're gonna go for a jungle or solo because they already know the matchup, or if they're gonna lock out their support and let their jungle solo counter pick more. As we see the Kepri locked
Capri
in.
pick. You know,
So
Ganesh was still open, but they didn't want to take that one.
they're just playing for safety. You got Jingwei, one of the safest gods in the game, Scylla with one of the best leaps from a mage, and then you have Kepri revive to get you out a second time if needed.
And a
As
smart
they
take
ban
of
the
the Ganesh.
Ganesha.
Yeah, very smart. Ganesh is just so strong. Always has been, but in this meta especially, people have been locking him in more. I think it's really smart to get him out of there.
I'm really surprised that he wasn't prioritized by Stormcallers, since Flourish seemed to have had the Kepri lined up. That was a pretty quick lock in,
Yeah,
as we see the
they might just
Bakasura.
have something in mind, like we said, picking a lot of interesting picks here. I mean, there are no executes on the board. Not to say someone can't lock in an Achilles, but I think maybe they're just assuming maybe Ibba is going to do some hard diving here, and that Kepri reset is going to be so nice for it. Maybe just to
Yeah,
negate the new all. You never know, really.
I wouldn't be surprised if Flourish banned an Alquan here.
That would be smart. Yeah, Alquan, we have
Although
been seeing a lot more.
they already have the jungle solo, so I don't know where you would put it unless you put Nike support, but then you're taking away Aztec's best god, so it's just a little weird, and they banned the Terra, so they're not concerned about Alquan, as I talk myself out of it.
We've seen some weird things. We've seen a lot of assassins in mid. We've seen Alquangs in solo for sure. We've seen it all over the place, especially in these playoffs. So people are pulling things out of their backpacks and never really know what to expect. Can't be too careful. In a sec, going to be the last ban for Stormcallers. Don't want to see Ibba on that. Still quite a few gods up that we've seen Ibba play. He has played things like the Vamana jungle a lot. We've seen that. Of course, the Pele. Anybody who can get real divey in their face and take on several people, that's sort of what Ibba does. I think there's a lot left on the board still.
I think an older pick of his is the Gilgamesh, which I think is
True.
kind of a sleeper pick right now.
I don't think anybody would be expecting the Gilgamesh lock. So that might be something to keep in mind. When
But
Hades.
that's a really good matchup into the Nike in the lane.
Yeah, do
You have
a lot of fearing out of the channeling abilities. And Anime, as I think we've seen him on Hades quite a few times. He plays it very well, and Hades is just so strong lately in the right hands.
Yeah, and it's got really good lockdown onto Nuwa. If she doesn't have her ult and beads, she's gonna just die to that Pillar of Agony. She's not gonna have any way out. And we see Marty Chorus locked in.
It's someone who's fell
Going
off a little bit lately, but is still so strong. People, I think, just are forgetting that Marty's still around.
Yeah, I think his nerfs kind of scared people a lot. But he's definitely very strong as Thor to round
Ooh,
out.
gotta imagine that's Thor support, right?
That's gotta be Thor support.
Which I wouldn't put it past Strat being on that Thor support. Man, Strat all the way from scouting ground. Strat has been impressive, playing aggressive gods in support like Fenrir and whatnot, and just taking it to the teams, man, and just looking unkillable and looking so good. So I imagine he's gonna wreak havoc on this Thor.
I mean, he's got good engage, he's got good disengage, he's got a wall so he can, lock people down in jungle corridors. If that is a Thor support, I'm not gonna complain as we see the Vamana locked in for Ibba. one of his favorite picks.
There it is, the Vamana we talked about. I imagine that's running jungle. Don't really foresee Ibba running Hades jungle. So I think that's a big comfort pick for him, and what a time to have it here in the playoffs and semifinals when it all counts. Happy to see him get that one. Excited to see what he'll do with it. But break these down. Stormcallers, Flourish. Which one do you feel better about headed into this first game?
Well, based off of just the top meta that everybody's playing in ranked and whatnot, I've got to give it to the Stormcallers. But the Flourish really seem to have come in here with a game plan, and that's a scary thought. Top meta is only top meta. You have to still execute on it, and if Flourish have a game plan to deal with the meta gods, something that they cooked up in a scrim, then they're gonna do just fine.
I agree, and we'll just have to get in there and see what happens. I'm excited for this one. Godlike matchup, first of the playoffs. We're in the semifinals. Stormcallers versus Flourish. We will see you momentarily in game. Hello, everybody, and welcome into game. Smite Draft League Godlike Playoffs Semifinals. Stormcallers versus Flourish. I'm iNooblet, joined by Cairo, the captain of Divine Stormcallers, watching the higher up division of his namesake, trying to get it done. Cairo, do you feel like they are going to get it done with this comp, as we see AnimeCEO pretty low headed to lane? That might be tough against an Azteck Nike.
Yeah, it's a little hard with Scylla clear if she doesn't go gem. But I think they have a pretty good composition. It's a little curious that I see 3 blue stones. One on the support there. That Thor support.
And yeah, take note of it. Strat is support. That's not Strat ADC on Thor. The characters got a little mixed up. We'll iron it out as soon as we get a chance here. But that's what he does. He goes aggressive, and you think he's just a support, and all of a sudden he has top kills, top damage. And how do you really plan for that when you're just assuming he's just a tank and you have actual damage carries to worry about? And
I mean, you
a little low here. Gonna get back to tower just safely. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you can't plan for it. There's no planning for what you think is a support diving you and dealing 50% of your HP.
It's just all part of the sauce. Now, iWiffKrakens, KaneTempest. We've seen a lot of KaneTempest. Not a lot of iWiffKrakens as Lycon comes over here trying to make something happen early. Is on the Pele. Going to get the knock up straight onto Khepri, who's already a quarter HP. Is under. Not enough ticking in the wall from Strat with the blue stone. First blood going to Stormcallers by the way of the guy we were just talking about. Strat on this Thor.
I think even if he doesn't hit the wall, Dragoon was going to land the auto to secure the kill, but that blue stone might have just gotten first blood.
It couldn't have been anybody else. It had to be Strat. We hyped it up too much. But that's a really good early start for them. Looking at their comp, that's not really a comp you want to head early on. It's going to be hard to come back. Scylla is not going to do a whole lot till mid game, especially late game. Jingwei is going to want a lot of that crit. Probably they're going to go online. Early game, not so good, not the clear. Hades going to have to box it out with Azteck, one of the best solo laners we've seen in the SDL. So a big lead for Stormcallers. What they do with it and how Flourish answers back is really going to be what these next few minutes are about.
Yeah, once we get the first couple items online, first couple rounds of mid harpies and see who's getting all the farm, as it looks like Khepri's a little bit caught out here.
Yeah, not a lot of places to go. Has that dash up, looking for the stun on them. Hammer toss through, real low again. iWiffKrakens is just trying to get back. KaneTempest actually body blocks him for just half a second. Lycon picks up one in the distance, and Strat gets the second kill for Stormcallers. Again onto iWiffKrakens, putting this Khepri behind. He's now 3-0 in the first 3 minutes.
The body blocks from Strat there were clean. iWiffKrakens on that big old Khepri body, not able to get around the Thor. And if you can't get back to your tower, you're just a dead bug.
That's something that people don't think a lot about. Body blocks, when you look at high-end players, body blocks play such a big part in what they do. Watch someone like Elion, who is always body blocking. Sometimes won't even use abilities, just blinks in front and just body blocks. And someone like Khepri, like you said, the widest hitbox in the game. Pretty easy to do. I think we just gotta hope iWiffKrakens doesn't go too deep in the jungle alone now. Might have learned the lesson, and we'll see how these next couple minutes go.
Yeah, with Strat getting the first blood and a second kill, I'm curious to see where he goes with his build, and it looks like he might be going for that prophetic cloak. From Thor, you can stack it up pretty easily. And I like his earring pickup, by the way. 15 MP5
Yeah,
for 400 gold.
I was just gonna ask you about that. I see quite a few people pick up the earring, and stat-wise, all it is giving you is MP5. So what's the theory behind that besides starting some early protections or building into thieves or something like that? First new ult of the game, gonna get a little player damage check. Why go just the MP5?
Well, he went a Chalice, and he's got, you know, the sustain from Bluestone. As you see a little bit of an engage here.
Ooh, a good trade.
Some
Azteck
ultimate
was,
exchange.
yeah, Azteck was looking low. Had to pop the ult. Gets a nice low. No mana on AnimeCEO. Gonna take a little poke there. Looks like the solo laners will be okay. And if we head back over to mid lane, a good stun out of TunaHails just to negate the aggression coming out of that. They were having a little scuffle over the mid harpies, as you will, the first couple minutes. But now, a level 5 Strat going up to the green buff and into the air. Let's see where he chooses to land. He's going to be a tower dive onto Khepri. He really wants iWiffKrakens. A good stun out from Nuwa on 1 HP. But here comes the cavalry. IbbaWasTaken. Just needs to land something onto Lycon to get this one. A good double stun from Tuna. And Ibba has to go up in the ult. Gets a little shield and is trying to turn it back. But Azteck's already here. Ibba slowly going down and Azteck cleans him up. That was a fight that went back and forth. And Chubby trying to run for his life before TunaHails ult comes up. It is almost there. He's going in deep. Gonna get scared off by iWiffKrakens. Just playing a gambit, trying to make him not ult. But wow, 4-0, 5 minutes in.
Stormcallers are getting away with murder. They have already over a 2,000 gold lead. They have experience leads in every single lane, every single role, just about. But they're just getting away with murder. Like, the new WoW gets to walk to the red buff because they know where everybody is, and she doesn't get punished for it. You know?
And it's tough because we've seen a lot from Godlike Flourish this season. We haven't seen a lot from Godlike Stormcallers, so there's not a lot we can go off of, and certainly Flourish can't go off of game film. They look like they're playing really well, and my biggest concern is when we talked about that early lead and how Flourish is not built to be behind this much. Especially look at ChubbyOstrich, who is always a staple of and always a win condition for Flourish. Playing Scylla, he's going in the Sands of Time start, and he's going Thoth, which Book of Thoth is pretty popular right now, but now you put yourself a little bit far behind where you're not going to come online very early because you have to stack that Book of Thoth, and you don't just have easy damages. AnimeCEO getting tower dove, commits the ult, but so does Azteck and lives after the tower shot. That's a solo kill for Azteck playing with the Godlike guys.
Beautiful, beautiful play by Azteck there. Knowing his damage values, knowing how many tower shots he can take. Just a beautiful solo kill there.
And that's the problem with giving someone like Azteck a comfort god, right? You're just so familiar. You understand how much damage you can take. You understand how deep you can go. Look at iWiffKrakens, caught out by 2 members at his purple buff again. You'd think you'd be safe there, but you're not. Lycon uses the ult. Krakens responds with his, but Strat's waiting for it. He does have a little health, but now they come in, and the death from above. Oh, the AC 130 just always going to do work. 1 tower shot. I don't know if he's going to get chased by the 2nd tower shot when he lives. Sides go back in. KaneTempest gets the kill. Dragoon gets the return. A slaughter over here, and now Lycon trying to get away from ChubbyOstrich, but oh, the combo too good. Cuts him off with the crush, hits the root, hits the auto right afterwards, deletes him. That's what they needed. 2 on the board for Flourish now. But we're not done. TunaHails in trouble with an Ibba blink in up into the ult immediately. No ult escape, deleted by ChubbyOstrich. Great responses, and it looks like Flourish is coming back in this one.
They're coming back. They've still got a ways to go. We're still sitting at 2K gold, over 3,000 experience, but that's a really, really good start.
Yeah,
Punish the Thor for being too aggressive. You punish Tuna for probably not having any wards, enough wards. You know, really, really good start to come back into this.
and if you're Flourish here, what do you think the strategy should be lying? Should it be punishing this new wall who very immobile? Does if they don't have ult, if they don't have their stun up, if they don't have beads, pretty much is just an easy free chase down. Do you think that's where they should focus? Get them behind, get Chubby ahead, which he is slightly, or should they focus on someone like a Thor support?
I think they should focus on more of a counterpunch style. You know, Khepri's not necessarily the best at engaging because his engage is also his escape.
Right.
You know, the Thor, Pele, Nike all have amazing engage. So if they just kind of sit back and endure that initial brunt impact, they can counterpunch very well with Scylla Crush and Root and I'm a Monster. You know, you have Jingwei just pumping autos with, you know, the super autos.
Speaking of which, Ibba gonna get a nice kill onto TunaHails. They got caught up. Looks like the scuffle over the mid harpies once more. Just nowhere to go as a Nuwa. Sure, you have guaranteed free damage and a huge stun combo, but if the whole team's on you, waiting for you to come down from that ult, free kill.
Yeah, and they still don't have vision down around the mid lane there, so really easy to punish.
Let's take a look over these builds while we have a little time. Of course, a mid harpy scuffle once more. That looks like too much going on. Anything sticking out to you that's concerning or that's new and innovative, or that you think is a really smart move? Big poke damage on Strat there.
I think the war flag on Khepri is a little interesting, but it'll make sense when they get to late game and objectives. Outside of that, the builds all look pretty normal. Outside of maybe Kinsai's second on the mana, but that just means he's looking to get active as we see a huge I'm a Monster.
And iWiffKrakens getting the kill onto TunaHails. That's one for the big bug. ChubbyOstrich has to get out, use his beads, gets the Khepri ult. Azteck had used his beads. Let's see if Strat wants to go deep onto ChubbyOstrich there. I know he's thinking about it. Gonna think better and go into green buff. Maybe try and get the double tap off. Doesn't get it. They follow suit. No more hammer toss. And they're just gonna chase him down. That's a dead Strat. Another one for IbbaWasTaken. Sitting at 2-1, and they are pushing the issue here. Already on Gold Fury, 4 of them. Scylla not far behind. Lycon has to fight all 4 if he wants to get in there. Dragoon shows face. Try and help. And great damage onto KaneTempest. Can't even get up. And now AnimeCEO is trying to zone, but he's a level 11 Hades with no defense online, and he's going to get deleted by TunaHails. And all of a sudden, Gold Fury looks like it's going to go to Stormcallers with ChubbyOstrich just hanging around for a steal.
And again, this is where the vision comes in. They see he's there now, but is it too late?
Oh, and that was a great attempt. But
Oh, the
unfortunately,
wall.
Stormcallers dropped it. The perfect timing. Really heads up play by them. That would have surely been a steal with that crush. And now 3-4 members are here. Azteck farming in the right side jungle. Looks like both teams are going to choose to just drop it for now. No Gold Fury.
Yeah, both teams had an opportunity and decided better. You know, Flourish have better confirmed, but ChubbyOstrich was out of that Gold Fury fight at the start of it, so you know they couldn't rely on a crush from Scylla to secure the objective. So it's better to let that one go. And you can't just give up a Gold Fury to a crush. You know, the objective steal potential from Flourish is there.
Yeah, and I think it was played really smart as we see the 1v1 here. Maybe KaneTempest and gets some. This time gets up into the sky with the trade of ults. They're going to come down and have to battle it out with autos. A good committal. KaneTempest gets the better of Dragoon. That's a huge win for him. Being down 3 levels just a second ago. Now only 2. Huge.
Now 1.
Now 1. The XP boost from just that. Huge play. Got the Aegis out and still won it. And last time only lost that fight seemingly because they couldn't get up in the Jingwei ult. This time got it. Looking huge. These are the plays we want to see. It has to be individual plays in their area, but then come together as a team. AnimeCEO stepping up, but Lycon lurking. We know how squishy anime is right now. Well, Fury started up. Let's see what Lycon has to say about it. While ult committed, and Flourish confirms it, but can they confirm the fight afterwards? Krakens with nowhere to go and a Pele ult in his face. Strat very low. Strat is dead. Kepler uses the ult on himself. It leaves KaneTempest vulnerable because of that. And now Ibba's taking on 2 over here and gets one of them. Dragoon returns it, but that was a 2-on-1 and Ibba took one with him. A 2-for-1 overall. Stormcallers getting not the good end of that fight, losing the Gold Fury to Flourish and losing 2 members. And now Gold is at 28, negated 10 now. Gold is perfectly even. Experience still in favor of Stormcallers.
Yep, just like that, we have a tie game in Gold. Experience still somewhat relevant. I think a decent chunk of that is probably in support. Oh no, side lanes. The side lanes, holy cow, I didn't realize that Azteck has a 3-level lead over Anime. That is gonna hurt them eventually.
Yeah, that's just what Azteck be doing, man. He bullies you out, forces you to get back, and then he's pushing your waves under tower. Letting him know where he stands in lane here. That's classic Azteck right there. And that tower is a couple autos away from falling down, so he's certainly... And I think that plays a big part into Stormcallers, right? Because now he has pressure in lane. He can rotate first before AnimeCEO and make some things happen. And he certainly has 2-0-1, top of the player damage charts.
And it's perfect timing for teams to start looking at the Pyromancer.
Yeah.
Get you a bomb in pocket to destroy the towers.
Yeah, what's your thought on Stygian Beacon and how important it is? Usually in these SDL sets, we see kind of like a lull in fights. People don't necessarily want to commit. Let's take a look at Azteck in a bit of trouble here. Gonna have to fight on 2. Does have ult, can use it. Hades ult, confirmed, sucks him back in, and an easy kill for Ibba. Great rotation and huge experience for him taking the top member of Stormcallers off the board. Now Marty Chorus gonna take that position as the level 16. And look at TunaHails. He was there and then he's not. iWiffKrakens roaching that one away just to get himself back some XP. ChubbyOstrich is doing so much damage. I know I said he's gonna be mid to late game, but you really can't doubt Chubby, man. He's coming in here, already has poly, hits the combo so smoothly, and is just deleting people.
Yeah, once you get 2-3 items on Scylla, 3 items now with Polynomicon finished, he is just going to chunk damage. As you see, Lycon ult out.
Yeah, and there comes I'm a Monster, and it is good. Pele tried to get away, just couldn't, had to use the ult, and the autos come back, and now Strat in trouble taking on 2. Ibba and Anime working so well together to get their teams back in this lead, and then Chubby and Krakens working together, and then KaneTempest getting solo kills over in the duo lane. This team is doing what they need to, now confirming upon no. Yes, they did, excuse me, sorry, it was grayed out. I got lost for a second. They did get that pyro. I thought something crazy happened. But now they're pushing it up 2K in gold. 3 kills. Tower's not looking as good. About even, and when this mid lane goes down, it will be in favor of Stormcallers. And now, a solo fight once more. But Jingwei can't get out, has to use the Aegis. Did have ult, just didn't think maybe enough time to get out before taking all that damage. Dragoon is looking scary on this level 18 Marticarus. And Gold Fury about to spawn too, and Stygian.
Dragoon being able to free farm on this Marticarus is a very scary thought, because Marticarus is a god who needs items.
Yeah.
He's very late game focused. And he's already got 3 full items. I'm curious how much golden pocket he has, because he's got to have at least a tier 2. As we see a huge chunk of damage taken away by that crush.
Yeah, and then Newall just took Stygian Beacon alone. Barely contested by ChubbyOstrich. Maybe not a lot of value from these guys in the Stygian Beacon, as we've seen in other divisions of SDL. But that was a free one for them, and now Gold Fury's up. Certainly going to be the next one to look at if this fight fizzles out. Strat just walking at the whole team, no fear. iWiffKrakens following suit, looking for a grab on the Strat, who goes straight up into the ult. We'll see where he lands, might just go away. Ibba and Lycon meeting each other over at the Oracles. But now it is 3-on-1 against Ibba. Goes up into the ult. It's looking okay. Lycon's leaving. Marticarus is there. Now half health on Ibba was taken after the new wall ult. I'm a monster over the wall. Gonna half health Dragoon, who has to go up into the AC 130. KaneTempest is here, but already kind of a little poked out, and a good reset from Khepri for AnimeCEO. Going back in to finish it on Lycon, but TunaHails turns it right back around and claims AnimeCEO. KaneTempest now in the middle of 3. He's going to fall to Dragoon. TunaHails just trying to walk out. ChubbyOstrich, maybe something can happen here. A good double root, a good crush. Dashes out, but Azteck's there with iWiffKrakens. Tries to get him off him. Not going to happen. Now 4 people chasing down the Khepri. Surely gonna be dead here. That is 4 dead and a triple kill for Marticarus. Now level 20, looking unstoppable.
Level 20 before 20. That is an ADC's dream.
Gotta be a Marticarus dream too. Like you said, needs a lot of stuff online.
Yeah, that fight, the Flourish looked like they had a really good counterpunch, and it started to go their way, and then Stormcallers just got to regroup quicker and were able to take control of that fight back. And that triple kill going to Marticarus. He's got Bluestone Brooch. He's got to be like 500 gold away from that Crusher, and once he gets that online, he's gonna be unstoppable.
And now sitting 6-1-5, been a part of 11 of 14 kills. Second on the player damage charts, only eclipsed by ChubbyOstrich on the Scylla, who has been putting in work. Now Gold Fury started up by Stormcallers. Khepri, the only one there to try and steal. We've seen crazier things happen. Gold Fury is going to go the way of Stormcallers, and now Kraken's already used his dash. Gonna get an Anvil of Dawn landed on him. Marticarus goes up in the ult just to kill this Kraken. Khepri ult keeps him alive for a second. Lycon finishes it up. All 5 members of Stormcallers here running together. Flourish a little bit split across the map. Kraken just looking to try and make something happen for the team, but a bit overextended and falls, and now a free Pyromancer, it looks like.
I mean, the game is in a very even state. I don't hate that from Krakens. You know, he's got an experience lead over Strat. He can get that upgraded starter item online. He's got the level 15. You know, it's not the worst call. Hey, maybe I can steal it. Maybe I don't. If I die, I die. I think I would have liked to see him save the ult maybe, because there were 5 people there. But
yeah, I think that's probably where I'm sitting at too. I don't mind the effort, but maybe throw in your 2, throw in your root, and try and dash out. And if you get caught, save the ult. I mean, the ult is going to be back up here pretty soon, but at least he did not commit any relics. That you know, that would have not been a smart play. Sometimes you just know you're dead. But he did dash in to pull. I don't know if he was trying to dash out, and of course that wide Khepri hitbox. Sometimes you try and dash out and you grab somebody. But nonetheless, yeah, the effort's there, and like you said, it's a very even game state. Only a K difference in gold, even kills across the board. No real super big experience lead on members, as KaneTempest is now a 19, and other than the solo lane, but AnimeCEO is trying to catch up, see if they can do it here. 3 members jumping in on Azteck. Strat is there to assist this time. Ibba is dashing all the way in. Probably see an ult here soon, so I imagine Aztec's okay as the squad has arrived. They're turning it on to IbbaWasTaken. No, now on to iWiffKrakens, who's just getting chunked from his health. Dragoon over the wall. Gonna lay out a little bit of ticking damage. And smartly, Flourish. It's gonna go the other way.
Yeah, I'm curious if they were fighting just to fight, try to get a pick onto Azteck and help get Anime caught back up in experience. But you know, at 22 minutes, with as even as it is, I don't think anybody's really dying to pull a fire giant right now. You know, this final beacon's about to spawn the Titans in. And Stormcallers have gotten all 3 of the beacons now, if I'm not mistaken.
I've at least seen them get 2. And that's pretty huge. Talk to me a little bit about the beacons. How important are they in this game state? Should you be prioritizing them? I've heard people call them little mini fire giant buffs. How important are they as a team?
You know, it's just a little bit of bonus power. They took away the movement speed in a recent patch. having a stronger Titan isn't an end-all be-all, and kind of like it used to be, because teams are grouping around the Titans. But if you can group around your Titan and push with it, that's a different story. But it's not nearly as important as it was when it was first introduced, I don't think, anymore.
Fair enough. We see a bit of a grouping around Fire Giant Pit. 24 minutes in, pretty even game state still, certainly in the favor of Stormcallers. Early Fire Giant could make a big dent in who takes the lead in this game. Now all 5 going to collapse on the mid lane where Lycan is, but that's a fast Pele, going to run the other direction. Now all 5 are in the middle of the Stormcallers team, 3 on the right side, 2 on the left. They could certainly collapse here. Fire Giant heavily warded out by Flourish. You can see the wards all around the map. Gold Fury is up, and Nuwa is going to stay over in the left lane. So if they're going to make a fight here, it might be in favor of Flourish. Let's see what happens.
It looks like they're trying to catch Stormcallers out. They're not going for the Titans. That's a beautiful wall by Strat to, keep the engage away.
And already Dragoon committed, and then beats because Haiti was right there. IbbaWasTaken is looking for something. It's gonna hit it, gonna get the reset. Strat looking low as well. IbbaWasTaken just a hair off the mark. Would have been a huge reset as well. Attention onto Azteck, deleted. That's a double kill for ChubbyOstrich. Could have got it with IbbaWasTaken. Would have been a triple, but just a hair off. But a great couple picks for Flourish with this Fire Giant looking good. Nuwa is pushing up the left lane. Ibba has back to contest that. But now it's going to be a 4-on-2 over the Fire Giant Pit if they try to take that one.
I'm not sure why we would send a Nuwa to split push.
Fire Giant is started up. Half health. Ibba's chasing him down. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the description as AnimeCEO so low, gets the Kepri reset off the Nuwa ult. And Fire Giant has gone the way of Flourish. They got it, and they got a kill afterwards. Lycan dead. Strat barely alive, trying to get out. Ibba still taking on Nuwa in the mid lane, and the Pyromancer gonna get the assist there. Double kill. And then IbbaWasTaken finally gets down TunaHails. Everybody was dead except for Dragoon there and Azteck, who just spawned. Huge plays, and I don't know how that worked out. I don't know if I'm a fan of the Stormcaller split push. No one choosing to pick up the Pyromancer bomb. Guess they don't need it. Want to go straight for this T2. Only people there to contest Dragoon and Azteck, and it looks like they probably won't.
Yeah, that's not really a fight you can take on the tier 2 2v4. Even with Kepri ultimate down, it's not worth risking your lives, because then that's just a guaranteed Phoenix, and that puts you in.
Disappears
right
before he
missed the bomb timer.
Smart here though. They're going straight for Gold Fury. Now at a comfortable 3k lead, well, just over 2k lead. Gonna extend that a little bit with the Primal Fury. Looking good for Flourish. They're playing this smart, and they are pushing the issue. This is what we wanted to see from them. I don't know what happened to Stormcallers all of a sudden in the last couple of minutes, but it looks like they're all just sort of playing as individuals and not really on the same page.
Yeah, they've made just like some weird macro play calls around the map that have kind of cost them a Fire Giant now.
Look at that dip.
And the lead. Yeah, that's only going to get worse if Flourish push the issue like they have been. There's still 2 tier 2 towers to take. I imagine they'll sweep towers and maybe look for a Phoenix push. And there's not much Stormcallers can do. I'm not sure you want to defend tier 2 towers here. You don't necessarily have the best poke in Nuwa unless you're ulting before the fight, but then you don't have the safety. And that's a vision ultimate right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seeing where everybody is.
Checking what their strategy is, see if they're indeed coming for these tier 2s, which they are. Azteck already there to defend. I think when you look at the comp of Stormcallers and the players on it, I think they might choose to defend this. They're confident in their abilities as well. They should be. They're great players. They have a great team, and I think they feel like they could stop them if they came into this. But actually, Flourish choosing to back off a little bit, and now they're back in lane. Maybe just want the wave with them since it's not EFG. If you're Stormcallers, do you defend this, or do you do a soft defense?
I think you do a soft defense, and if you get some good poke damage off with the Martigerous abilities, you maybe take an engagement, but he's kind of the best one you have for poke, and they just kind of gave up the tier 2 tower there as Lycon's pushing out the mid wave, so they can't threaten a Phoenix at this point in time.
Yeah, this is something, because every time Flourish goes to do something, a member of Stormcallers is somewhere else causing issues, like Lycon pushing this mid lane, like TunaHails pushing that left lane. It forces at least somebody to go back and deal with it, so Flourish can't necessarily implement the strategy that they're trying to implement. And now a T2 gone in the mid lane because of Lycon, and Ibba's forced to deal with that, and we'll see Ibba take on Lycon. They're both very fast. Good slows out of Ibba. Already a quarter HP, has to ult away. Looks like Lycon will live unless they run into Flourish, but I think they're out. So maybe if all 5 are there and all 5 of the Stormcallers are saying, hey, let's defend this Phoenix, maybe they try and push it. But with one person going, it just throws a whole wrench in the thing.
Yeah, I think if Ibba stays there, they can threaten the Phoenix. You know, maybe trade a Phoenix for a tier 2 tower. They were already on the left side of the map, and that would be an absolutely worthwhile trade to me. But it's not a bad play to just get the tier 2 towers. It's not EFG. You don't need to push all crazy like and throw, you know, the lead that you just accumulated for yourselves. You know, all the gold is still all relevant gold. Not everybody's 6 slotted, upgraded relics.
Yeah, the only real disparity as Pyromancer goes the way of Flourish. See if they get the bomb this time, and they do. The only real disparity is between the supports now, and iWiffKrakens, who was so far behind in the early game from getting ganked, is now 3 levels up on Strat. And almost full build besides selling the starter. Strat still trying to stack that cloak. Still doesn't have upgraded starter. Still hasn't upgraded earrings. A little far behind, but I think maybe doesn't have that big of an impact as Fire Giant spawns now again and will be EFG on the next one. Lycon gonna choose to get this Stygian, but members are there. Ibba challenging that. They might just let that one go.
Yeah, it's not something worth losing your life over, the beacon. I think Strat is really close to finishing his prophetic cloak stacks, which will make him a whole lot more harder to kill.
So now Oni Fury, EFG, 2 objectives on the map. Lycon hanging around Oni Fury. All of Flourish headed the way of EFG. They're actually going to start it up, and this is an interesting one. They already have it half health. It is burning. Nuwa going to take a look at where everybody is and see that there's a good chance to steal here because everyone's here. Monster is going to confirm it for Flourish, but now can they get out? Lycon has already killed KaneTempest in the background, and Chubby is short to follow. Ibba taking on 2 members with AnimeCEO, gets one. TunaHails already dead, and now can Dragoon clean this up? No, he's dead too. Ibba with the double. Azteck takes out ChubbyOstrich finally. EFG still on 3 members, but Anime and Ibba are so low here. Anime trying to get out. Azteck, oh, what a great grab from Krakens to keep him off of him. But the wall, beautiful. The double tap. Lycon cleans that one up. Now, Khepri and Ibba, the only ones with EFG, which is still fine to have it on 1 member. You're still going to get those backdoor protections stripped. He's just trying to live and see if Ibba lets him die or comes in and tries to help. Dodging around. Quarter HP. Aztec's on the case. Ibba wants to get some. He's going to fight 3 of them, but Ibba doesn't have ult. And he's slowly getting whittled down. Wall off the mark. Strat's following. Lycon ult out. Abilities all over the place, and Krakens and Ibba walk away with their lives and with EFG.
Yeah, but you don't have EFG on your backline, particularly your ADC. So it's going to make it a lot harder to try and get the Phoenixes down, the only structures that Stormcallers have left to defend. That is very worthwhile to spend all that time fighting and getting those picks for Stormcallers there.
Yeah, and exactly what happened is what I was going to bring up right before EFG got started. Is it's such a tough thing to 50-50 it like that. And because when you're the team holding EFG and you want to confirm it, you commit so much to confirming it and the other team doesn't. And you have to take the fight with them afterwards. And now you're down so many things because you just confirmed EFG that you're almost guaranteed to lose that fight. But it was a strategy, and hey, they're still up on this game. They're still looking good. Now fight over Oni Fury, and like I said, still have 2 on EFG. All ults up. A lot of relics down. Oni Fury could be a deciding factor in who's gonna finally get some phoenixes off of this. Lycon draws 2 people out to the mid lane, which is pretty big because now it's 4 people over at Oni Fury, and KaneTempest is backing. Seems like no one wants to fully commit to this one.
Yeah, we're kind of in the stage now where if you lose a team fight hard enough, you kind of just lose the game.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're in that kind of risky teeter-totter knife's edge late game. So nobody really wants to commit that hard as we see a blink ult exchanged. You know, keeping yourself alive there.
Yeah, but that Pele ult is on such a low cooldown, it feels like. Now Dragoon's going to use his ult, and we saw Strat go up into the sky as well. Going to land back down, but IbbaWasTaken just going to keep on walking at this Dragoon, who now uses beads, and is just getting chunked away. Ibba runs him down, Dragoon dead, and in the background, Chubby gets Lycon, who's taking on the whole team. Now 2 dead for Stormcallers, all alive for Flourish, still EFG on 2. They're going to choose to get this Oni Fury and not just walk down the Phoenix. They're going to let some minions push it up for them.
Yeah, low health bars. You only have your ultimate left on Jingwei. It's not really an ultimate you want to use to engage a team fight. And EFG's wearing off in, you know, 20 seconds or so now. Can't really push a Phoenix down even with 2 people dead. Not a lot of relics left.
Yeah, and this looks
they're
so good
try.
for Flourish, right? They're pushing down mid lane. They have 2 bombs. They have EFG on 2 members. Everyone's here. 2 members dead on Stormcallers. AnimeCEO just getting annihilated. Half health on the Phoenix, though. 1 bomb used. And they're going to back off, and it's going to give time for the rest of Stormcallers to spawn.
Yeah, like I said, it's a little awkward to, you know, spend all of that, all those ultimates, all the relics, and then you go back and you get the Oni Fury and the Pyromancer. If they pushed immediately, they maybe could have gotten a Phoenix, but they played it safe. They got the neutral objectives, not giving Stormcallers much of an option back into the game, and it doesn't hurt them, right? They're still in control of the game. They have the Pyro Bombs. They have board dominance around Fire Giant, which is spawning here in just a couple of seconds. You know, Flourish still gets to control the game, so it doesn't necessarily hurt them to not get a Phoenix there.
Vestigia now gone the way of Flourish, and they are controlling the Fire Giant pit once again. But like we said, if you commit a lot to it, like the I'm a Monster, you got to take the fight afterwards, because you know Strat is going to dive in the back, and so is Lycon. Lycon looking for AnimeCEO over there on the left side. Fire Giant half health is dropped. Everybody's just sort of feeling it out as TunaHails is up pretty far and is going to get deleted by ChubbyOstrich. IbbaWasTaken pushing out Azteck, and Lycon's pushing down the mid lane Phoenix. Somebody's got to deal with that, or just let them have it and take the EFG. Already half health on the Phoenix. No one backing yet. Ibba trying to now, and it's too late. First bird of the game goes the way of Stormcallers. Didn't know if we expected that one. Azteck taking a big chunk of life. Uses the ult on ChubbyOstrich, and Lycon has come back to this fight. He's going to be here in 2 seconds, and Fire Giant is 1 HP. Dragoon goes up in the air. Fire Giant goes the way of Flourish once more, but like we said, the fight afterwards, a good reset for iWiffKrakens to keep KaneTempest alive. But here's Azteck to make that kill happen again. AnimeCEO draws in 2, but they're eventually out of it. KaneTempest fighting for his life. iWiffKrakens is already fallen. Anime picked up Dragoon. IbbaWasTaken is here and is used. Only Kane gets Lycon with 1 HP. Gets the kill, and now 2 members alive, and Flourish with 3 pushing it down mid, and now we have EFG on the backliner. KaneTempest has it, has good sustain, just has to avoid getting jumped on. And Nuwa is already back, got jumped on by Azteck, got the kill, but here's the Nuwa ult. Gonna clean up KaneTempest here. Gotta see if Flourish can get out.
They have to get out here. or this is dangerous. Losing 2 people on such offset timers like that. Stormcallers has a real avenue back into this game now.
Hey, I mean, Flourish evened up the pressure in mid. Now Fire Maidens pouring out of both. Phoenix will be up first for Flourish. EFG still on Ibba. He hasn't died with that EFG yet. Primal Fury coming up. Pyro coming up. 1 tower still standing on the Flourish side. This is just a dead even game across the board. Every moment of it. Even from the early game when the charts were coming back down from being up. Both Phoenixes down in the mid lane. EFG goes to Flourish every time, but then they get smoked on a fight, but then they turn around the fight and get something out of it. This is probably the most even godlike match I have witnessed so far this season.
Yeah, and the good thing for Flourish is their Phoenix is going to be back up a minute and a half before Stormcallers comes back up, so they're still going to have the fire pressure in mid once their Phoenix respawns.
It's like a big fight here. Just a little bit of poke on a ChubbyOstrich. Lycon running away from Ibba. Good knockup to try and catch, to just create some separation. But now Lycon has met KaneTempest, who, oh my god, just hits so hard. Jingwei crits, forces the ult out immediately. Lycon's out of the fight. Now all 5 members of Flourish headed over to the Pyromancer pit, get themselves another bomb, so they can maybe push down once more. Still, 2.5 minutes on Fire Giant. And they're looking good. But Lycon is just so sneaky in this jungle. Look at him. He is never within vision of the team. And it's a smart way to play because you can burst 100-0 somebody on Pele. And if they don't see you coming, it's just easy. Vision check from Nuwa. Ibba blinks in. Got to take on 2 here. Half health, but goes on the ult. Now a quarter HP. The whole team is here. Ibba erased. A big shutdown for Lycon. Primal Fury still being held on to, but the whole team is coming. Flourish got it and are now just running away. A blink on AnimeCEO, but a good dash out. Still taking some poke. Doesn't do a lot of return damage. Going to use the ult here and is just going to get erased. Now, 5 members of Stormcallers looking at 3 members of Flourish. No middle Phoenix. They might wait for it to spawn. They might push it down further. They might try to end here, Chiron. I'm not sure what they're going for, but they're going to go for something strong.
They have 5 people. They have a 2-man advantage for another 30 seconds still. I can definitely see them going for an end call, but Strat gets deleted.
A 3rd kill for iWiffKrakens and a great pull-in when Strat went too far without the team. Dragoon goes up, laying down some hate. iWiffKrakens has to back up, and now Middle Phoenix has spawned, and they get their prize and walks away. Now timer in the favor of Stormcallers. Phoenix that will be up before Flourish.
ChubbyOstrich is doing so much damage.
It's
now.
ridiculous. That polyproc, it's ridiculous.
Strat was there, and then he was gone. He got evaporated.
And not having any beads on a Thor, if that Kepri gets you anywhere near KaneTempest or ChubbyOstrich, you're just dead. There's nothing you can do about it. I don't care how tanky you are, that polyproc, that root crush combo. And if he needs I'm a monster.
He's a lot less tanky than you would imagine. That is a Sphinx's Bobble
True.
pickup. That is what he turned his earring into. So he is just going to take more damage.
And hey, I mean, he's put out pretty good damage. Almost 17k as a support. You know, he's more than AnimeCEO right now, who is still pretty hybrid, but certainly has a lot of damage. And I think that's just how he plays stuff. Like, yeah, I may die a few times when I get plucked, but also I'm probably going to clean up a lot and do a lot of poke. Because we've all been there where there's a full support Thor, all defense, and he walls you and double taps you, and it takes like 25 HP, and you're just like, okay. That's not going to happen here with Strat's build. He's going to take off a pretty good chunk from you.
Yeah, that is true. I've just never seen anybody build Sphinx's Bobble in competitive. So
Strat isn't like a lot of other supports. I'll tell you that right now. Man is something else, and been very impressive this entire season. Since the moment we saw him scouting grounds, like I said, very impressive with how he plays the aggression, his builds. It just always works. It's like he's out here playing Assault and having fun, just diving in on cooldown and seeing what he can make happen. Just confidence that he's the better player.
Oh, this is fun. Have you seen the Titans run down for a second time?
I have. I have, and they are coming down, and they are in favor of Flourish. Chaos Titan walking right down almost to the Phoenix, and now someone's got to deal with that Dragoon. Going to take on that one. You are going to help a little bit. And for the third time, EFG has been started up by Flourish, and it is burning fast. Let's see if the steal can happen this time. This time they don't wait for them to confirm it. IbbaWasTaken's already out, doesn't hit anybody, and Azteck is on Chubby. Kraken uses the Kepri ult just to get him out. No more Scarab's Blessing. AnimeCEO is going to get deleted, and Ibba has nowhere to go. There's 4 members here. He's going to get erased. Dragoon gets one. 2 members dead, and this time they didn't have EFG before the fight happened. Chaos Titan is pushing down Phoenix on the right side. That is big for them, and it is chunking away at it. Nuwa going to try and deal with it quickly. Let's see if it... Nope, doesn't win that fight. Saves that one, but now EFG started up for Stormcallers, and I can't imagine if they have EFG how the next fight will go.
iWiffKrakens is going for the steal. I think if he tries, he loses his life.
It was worth it though, right? He's gonna sprint out of there, gonna get a little distance, running the rest of the team. He's just dead. Now EFG on all 5 healthy members of Stormcaller. 3 dead, 1 for 70 seconds. Titan taking a little bit of minion poke here as the Phoenix will respond shortly. Now it looks like Stormcallers are in the driver's seat. What do you want to see them do from here?
I want to see them get this Oni Fury and push in with Oni minions. Yes, you don't need backdoor protections, but if nobody answers the Oni waves, that's going to be a fire Oni wave in middle. That is going to destroy your Titan's health bar. You have to answer that. And that just gives you an advantage. You're picking up the Pyro Bomb. They're grabbing Oni Fury. Play it patiently, play it smart. Wait for your Oni Fire Wave to push in middle. Somebody has to answer that.
And it's so interesting because we talk about how even this game has been. This is just exactly what Flourish was doing on the reverse. They got EFG, they got Oni Waves, they waited for Oni Waves to push down, and then they tried to siege a little bit. Let's see if Stormcallers can do it better because it didn't work out too well for Flourish. They ended up one time getting a Phoenix, other time getting poked out, not being able to do it. But here comes the Oni Wave. And we have 3 members in left side, 1 in mid, 1 in right. So now, not only if you're going to contest Oni Fury, you have to contest a member of Stormcallers in that lane as well. And that could go very well for Stormcallers. That could go very poorly because you get a pick, and then the siege is going to be outnumbered.
Yeah, I don't hate the 3-1-1 split because if you don't answer Lycon over here, he's going to get this Phoenix for free. He's got EFG, he's got an Oni wave coming, he's got a Pyro Bomb. Azteck in mid, shoving this wave in right now, you know, that's not a bad call, and that gives your ADC and your mid laner free reign on this left Phoenix if nobody gets over there quick enough. They're kind of just spreading Flourish all across the map.
And so far, they've done a good job of dealing with the initial Oni wave, one being Oni Fire coming down the mid lane, but now it's a 3-0-2 split. Lycon and Azteck are pushing down the right side. No one can answer in time. It's just erased. 4 members are going to go over to the left, but now Azteck and Lycon are going to look at this mid lane, see if they can take that one. They are just annihilating these birds. Middle Phoenix already done, and no one has even dealt with the 3 members on the left side. They just gave those up for free, and now they're looking for this final siege. And if this goes well and the fight goes well, it could be an end call when Flourish was leading this whole game. And Nuwa comes out, and KaneTempest in the background gets a huge Scarab's Blessing when Strat just annihilated him with the Nuwa ult. And now all 3 Phoenixes are gone. Base is wide open, still EFG for about a minute on Stormcallers. Do they back off or do they go in, Chiron?
You still have EFG. I think you wait for the fire waves to get here, and you can push in with the fire waves. Scylla's only going to be able to deal with one of those sets of minions. And it looks like they're going to back off here, reset, maybe get some 3k pots. We see an elixir of defense going for Lycon there. Those mitigations are so strong.
48 minutes into this game. It has been anyone's game the entire time, back and forth, and now finally we see a base broken wide open, and here comes Ibba trying to get the momentum back. He ults and blinks, gets answered back with the Dragoon ult. So a couple things off the board.
Also used there.
Looks like Nuwa ult up in the sky, and Strat looking to make something happen. Dunks down into 3. Aegis already out of ChubbyOstrich, and Azteck followed it up, and this is huge for Stormcallers. Already 2 kills. All the board and the rest are looking so unhealthy. The only people alive, Kraken, it was 1 HP. Ibba answers a call back. Double kill for TunaHails. Anime gets 1, but is it enough? AnimeCEO just 1 out of the way. That's a triple kill for the Nuwa. That's a quadra kill for the Nuwa. And a deicide. And fire minions are flooding into this base. Can you believe it, SDL? A semifinals godlike match. No one could have guessed who was going to win this when it was so even, and Stormcallers show why they're on top, taking the first game of this semifinal set.
Wow. That's his answer back for all the games he got early.
Wow. Okay, Kyron, break down what just happened there at the end. Clearly, Stormcallers found their moment and wiped Flourish. Nuwa getting the quadra kill right at the end. Where'd that go wrong for Flourish?
Flourish way overextended, I think, on a last-ditch play. You go 3 Phoenixes down, it's really, really hard to come back from that. I think they way overextended on a last-ditch play to get a couple of picks so that they could try to kill the Titan in a base race against fire minions.
Mm-hmm.
And it backfired on them because they didn't get any picks. And then you have Strat hitting a 3-man dunk into a 2-man wall into Tuna Fish getting a quadra kill while you have fire minions pouring into your base. You know, it was a really good attempt, and they just fell just a little short, unfortunately.
And what are you seeing on these stats boards here? Taking a look at all the players, is clearly everyone did their job well. What are you seeing?
I'm seeing 49,000 player damage on Marticarus. I'm seeing 40,000 damage on a Pele. I'm seeing 45,000 damage on a Nuwa. It's kind of hard to win a game when all your damage dealers are doing over 40,000. Or it's kind of hard to lose a game when all your damage dealers are doing that much. And the space that Azteck made, you know, he was putting in so much work on that legendary Nike of his.
Well, overall, a great first game. Could have went Flourish's way, ended up going Stormcallers' way. I'm excited to see the rest of this set. We're going to take a quick break, catch our breath, and get some snacks, and see what happens in Game 2. Welcome back, SDL fans. We're still here in the playoffs. Godlike semifinal Stormcallers and Flourish. Game 1 went to Stormcallers in a fiery fashion. It was not to be expected. I'm still iNooblet, joined by Cairo. How do you feel for game number 2?
Game number 2, I think I want to see Flourish go with more aggressive picks in the early game. You have a Scylla, you have a Jingwei. They really just want to wait it out until late game. and we saw Stormcallers just take advantage of the pressure picks that they had. So I want to see Flourish go for some of those pressure picks. Your first pick, you can play for that Pele. We all know Ibba loves the Pele. He can dominate a game on that pick, because they really don't want to play against this Ares. They banned it themselves in game 1.
There's Pele taken off the board. They don't want to deal with that. They know first pick, he was probably going to lock that in. He was already hell on Vamana, so why give him that? What else would you like to see taken off the board for Flourish to answer back after game number 1?
As weird as it may seem, you may want to take away the Marticarus. If you're not going to apply pressure into dual lane, yep, and they ban it away. If you're just going to let Marticarus free farm until level 20 and get all of his items online, then he just does so much damage from such a far range, as we see the Athena banned away by the Stormcallers.
What about the Nuwa? Is that worthy of a ban, or do you just let that go through again? Clearly, early game wasn't doing a lot, but then the Quadra at the end by TunaHails, is that something you're concerned with? Now, ChubbyOstrich, we have seen play Nuwa, so they could take it away via picks.
Yeah, I don't think that's something that we need to see banned here, as they ban the Raijin. ChubbyOstrich loves to play the Nuwa. We've seen him play it. You can always take it away yourself, pick it for yourselves, which is a pseudo ban, as we see Stormcallers ban Chernobog. But I'm not sure what they want to top pick here. There's so many gods open. I don't think you want to top pick a Nuwa. That's a little awkward. But Ganesh is open. I mean, you still have like your Ramas. As we see Freya locked in. How could we forget about the magical?
I'm a little surprised we haven't been seeing a lot of magical ADCs picked or banned. Just sort of, not been in the set, but like Oleron Freya has been really huge in the meta.
Yeah, how could we forget about those two? I'm a little ashamed. Freya is just so strong.
You know what is still on the board, though, is that Nike for Azteck. They didn't feel like it was a problem. It is a comfort pick. They didn't get rid of it. I'd imagine that they would lock that in here, and yeah, they're going to hover it, and they're going to lock that in.
You know what Freya hates? A Nike shield that she can't pump her autos through.
True. Very true. Waiting on this third pick, second one for Stormcallers. Think they go their carry here before he gets banned in the second phase, or what would you like to see?
I'd like to see them potentially locking on here. Maybe not second pick, but third pick before second phase of bans. On her has kind of been the counter for these magical ADCs. As we see Susano locked in, another god that's just going to be able to get to that Freya.
But Ganesh is still open, though.
Maybe they're just not prioritizing the Ganesh.
Ganesh is so strong and so good in Susano. It hasn't been banned, hasn't been picked. Well, I would hope Flourish would pull that one out here. But, maybe they have something else in mind.
Maybe they do. We'll just have to see what Flourish decides to go here. But Ganesha is a great counter into Susano. He just doesn't let you push your buttons. As we see the Wukong locked in here. It's a really good pressure pick into a Nike like that.
Yeah, that's been someone who's been very prevalent in almost every single game, picked or banned. Is that some Wukong? What is it about Wukong that's been so strong lately?
He has a very strong laning phase. He has a very good team fight. You can rotate on him early. You can farm him up in lane and then rotate.
Kumba Karna lock-in. I don't know that we've seen that at all this season. Maybe one other time. I love Kumba, and honestly, gonna do to Susano what Ganesh does, so. How do you feel about a Kumba lock?
I don't hate it here. He does just kind of shut down Susano and Nike, putting them to sleep and whatnot. But I think Ganesha just does it better. He has a no-play zone where you take damage if you walk in and out of it, and he doesn't let you push your button for longer than Kumba does. As we see the Kuzenbo locked in on the Stormcallers, and I
Yeah.
love that lock in here into a Freya.
Yeah, and Strat on a Kuzenbo, he can be as aggressive as he wants. That's going to be fun to watch. Now, six gods locked in. We have both solo laners locked in, both supports locked in, a carry and a jungle. So, ban wise, maybe they're going to take a swing at Ibba, continue the swing at Ibba, or continue swing at ChubbyOstrich, you think?
I think you try to ban ChubbyOstrich out. I think Ibba's God Pool is a lot bigger. You know, we've seen him play everything from the Vamana like last game to the Pele's and Susanos and Dajis and stuff like that. I think we want to get ChubbyOstrich on a less comfortable pick here.
Oh, they already took the solo away, and he was looking very comfortable on that. But like I said, he has a big god pull. He can play the new wall. He can play all kinds of weird stuff in that mid lane, and still no new wall ban coming out from Flourish. So the Thoth ban gonna follow up, almost daring Stormcallers to run back that new wall. I'd say.
I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Did you see the quadra kill? He absolutely decimated people's health bars.
True. But maybe Flourish has a plan in place to not let it ever get to that late game like that. Don't know, but Ratataskir are going to be the next ban away. Also, have seen a lot of that in especially like ranked play and whatnot. Rat just being so good right now, especially in the jungle. A lot of chase down. Could see that going to support for Strat, even though the Kuzubo's locked in. So, Rat, yeah, won't be an option, but still no Vamana ban. He could run back to Vamana.
Yeah, he could. He had some really good moments on it, but once it got to 35, 40 minutes and Stormcallers grouped up, they were able to just kind of turn and burn him, as we see Agni banned away. So they really don't care if he goes back to the new WoW.
Interesting. Let's see if he does go back to the new wall. Next pick going to be locked in is Rama Hover. Okay,
And
so Dragoon
that
on
is a
Rama.
favorite of
Yeah,
Dragoons.
yeah. I'm excited to see that one. Putting in that work on the Marticarus, can only imagine with the ROM. But you do got to get that ROM to late game, be that hyper carry. Unless you're, honestly, I think ROM feels pretty good into Freya if you get the Freya a little behind. Just because you got to get the ring and maybe a little life still online to start being able to box this ROM. And if you go something big power spike early like Aussie or something, you're just not going to be able to box them, you know?
Yeah, and I've heard rumblings about a new kind of counter build to the magical ADCs on gods like Rama, and that's Atalanta's bow, giving you
Oh,
that
yeah.
boxing potential early against the magical ADCs. So I'm curious to see if Dragoon pulls that out here, as we see an E set locked in,
Wow.
and that's not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I think the only times we see ESET pop out is virtually jungling on the ESET in the other divisions. ESET I think is a very strong god. I think pretty underrated by most people. She's been good for a long time, even when her name used to be something else, and a lot of people forget about her. You hit those combos well, a late game full range spirit ball, that'll erase somebody.
You don't even need to hit the spirit balls. You just have to use her ult on objectives.
That's
There's
true.
no better god for confirming an objective. As we see a Thanatos hovered and locked in.
Wow, an Ibba Thanatos gonna be so aggressive. I'm so excited to watch that Thanatos type of god that's gonna get that pentakill that you're wanting. So that's gonna be really fun to watch. He's gonna definitely chase down some people. Now, final pick coming out for Stormcallers. They get one more thing, and it looks like it's gonna be their mid laner. Do you think it's the new wall? Do you think it's something weird, or do you think we're just gonna see like the staple Giannis or something meta right now? Merlin maybe.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say we see something like the Merlin Tiamat.
All we can
Just
do is wait and see what is hovered. And there's a raw hovered. Not locked in yet, so everybody hold on to your pants. A Raw. If this is locked in, what do you even think about that? And it's
It's
locked
locked in.
in. Oh,
That is not at all what I was thinking. I was thinking something with a little more safety, but
I mean, he's
I
really, really
guess
fast. You know,
you're not faster than a Thanatos.
that's true. That's
Um,
very true. But you can't heal out
but
of the execute.
that is true. It is. You do have some counterplay potential there.
I.
But sometimes Thanatos doesn't need the execute.
That's true.
It's a curious pickup, but I think if Tuna pilots it correctly, they're gonna have good objective confirm because ESET alt has to charge. You know,
Yeah,
Raw is just instant damage,
that's
and
true.
ESET alt has to charge for a bit, so you'll have the confirm. You may not have steal potential necessarily, but it's still there. Better than if you went like Merlin or Tiamat.
I think,
And healing your teammates out of the execute is gonna be big.
and I have full confidence that TunaHails has great mechanics, but one thing you always sort of look for to be able to do the Celestial Beam Searing Pain combo is setup, and there's not a lot of setup for Raw other than like an Azteck knockup, so it will be interesting to see how he pilots that Raw and how well he's able to combo full 100 to 0 somebody with seemingly going to be out of his own accord if he's going to.
Well, if he's played a lot with Strat and Strat pushes somebody right at him
Mm-hmm. That's
with
true. You gotta have
Kuzenbo,
you gotta have a lot of trust
that's
in that.
yeah, it's execution heavy on that part. So if they've played together enough, I believe in them. Otherwise, I would trust him to just freehand these ultimates.
We'll see how the trust goes as the players are ready to get into game number 2. Flourish for Stormcallers, Godlike semifinals of playoffs. We'll see you in game. Welcome back to the world of Endgame. SDL, this is game 2, Godlike playoffs semifinals. Stormcallers up 1 on the Flourish. I'm iNooblet, joined by Cairo, ready to cast this one. What are your initial impressions? Who has the advantage?
I think their team comps are pretty similar. They both have an ADC that wants to scale into the late game. They both have a mid laner with good objective confirm. They both have a really high pressure jungler. I think what it's going to come down to is execution. Who plays the map better? Who executes their combos better?
See what you did there. Speaking of executes, Thanatos being piloted by IbbaWasTaken, who immediately gets the first blood in the mid lane. It's usually where we see it happens. It looked like they were going to do a little bit of a stalemate, but goes in there, uses the blink, and erases TunaHails right away, punishing that Raw pick. Didn't like that one. A great start for Flourish, much better than game 1. We do have a pause come out. So, early game, we see Flourish take the first blood. What do they need to do with this as opposed to losing first blood last game?
We need to see Ibba be more active. If I'm remembering correctly, he wasn't that active early, and they fell behind, not having that jungle presence. So now that he's on Thanatos, which is such an early game slanted god, he's got first blood. He's going to be able to get his first item online quicker. I want to see him get active and use that pressure to, not let Dragoon free farm to level 20.
True. It looks like Smite's pause lead has ended, and we're back into the game. 1 minute and 20 seconds in. Still good lead for Flourish. Let's see if Ibba will take that and run with it. Duo lane looking pretty even over here. Pressure is in the way of Stormcallers. AnimeCEO on the Wukong had to back already, getting out pressured by that comfort pick. A whoop onto Dragoon just to create some distance, but they're going to stay under tower here for a while, meaning they're opening up all of the farm, all the neutral farm to the way of Stormcallers. You can see Lycons are already there taking it. Looks like they want a boxing match stepping up a little bit. Lycon is nearby. Got to be careful, but that will fizzle out. And we'll be back to the mid lane to see what TunaHails can do.
TunaHails does have help here from Lycon.
And it looks like they're going to start up the 2v2 fight. Heal on the ground, right on top of Lycon. Spirit Ball dodged by Lycon, who dashes in. Ibba now in trouble. TunaHails wants to get that one. He's got to send the line over the wall. Dodged by Ibba. Goes under tower and gets out. Now Chubby's keeping them busy. Good stun. And whoa, in the background, Strat just sent out a little Nene and cleaned up Ibba. You could hear the bounce off screen. We didn't capture that one. But wow, what a good rotation. I didn't even know Strat came over here. What a cleanup.
That is a crazy rotation. But it's a good rotation. They have all the pressure that they want in duo lane. And, you know, he can afford to step away. And
So
I
sneaky.
believe he just soloed mid camps. Or maybe he got a little help from Tuna. But those mid camps on the left side went to him.
And look at this. Dragoon was stuck under tower with 25 HP. And iWiffKrakens and KaneTempest backed off of it. And Dragoon walked up the map with 0 health. That's just how confident he feels on this ROM, and sent him all the way back to the purple buff to confirm it. They easily could have dove there. Ibba was nearby. Lycon barely confirming that jungle camp and getting out alive. So now we're dead even, maybe 10 gold difference here, 50 gold difference. 1-1, 3 minutes in. Feels a little bit different than game 1.
It feels a lot different than game 1. And I want to see, like I said, I want to see Ibba start getting active. I want to see him get this Jotuns online after these next couple of camps. And then he already is level 5. You know, Lycon just hit level 5. You know, he's going to have that ultimate. Dragoon still hasn't backed. He could maybe look to duo lane. He could maybe look even to Azteck before he gets tier 2.
That's what I was expecting from Strat. The blink dash here, and Dragoon rolls in. He does have ultimate, and Freya is very low. KaneTempest does not have ultimate, so he won't be able to dodge it. Azteck gets the solo over on the right, but Eva's here a little too late. And there goes the ultimate, and the shell might have just been enough, but the bounce from Strat. He's the best. He just Hu-Yi ulted this man. He just Hu-Yi won him with a Nene around the tower, and second kill for the Nene by way of Strat.
Somebody stop this man. He
It's
has gone
criminal.
2-0 in both games pre 5 minutes.
Man. And I can't tell you how much I love what he just did with that Nene. So I've been so upset. I love playing Hu-Yi, and there was a bounce with Hu-Yi in duo lane where I might get interrupted here as Ibba goes up in the sky trying to look on Dragoon, misses it, but Chubby's there to clean it up. Ibba actually takes the kill on that one, and Lycon nowhere to go. Chubby gets one on that. 2 answer backs, and now we're back to 3-3. Strat looking to make something happen. Maybe now I can go back to my niche point. There was a bounce around the towers in duo lane with Hu-Yi where you didn't even have to line it up. You just walked up to the wall, sent that ricochet off, and it would triple bounce around the wall and follow it like a hockey puck around the wall of a rink, and it would go around, and then it would cut back like 5 feet from behind the tower where everyone likes to back, and it would always kill them because everyone thought they were safe there. And they took that away when they updated the map. You can no longer do that triple bounce, but that Nene was almost exactly what that bounce was. It rolled around and then came in and hit Freya behind, and that makes me so happy, man. Such a good move. And why not, you know, give Strat this guy, let him make some bounces. He's already up 2 kills. He's not even building any damage like he was on Thor. I love it.
No, but he did get his prophetic cloak online before 5 minutes. And with how he's hitting these Nene bounces, you know, he's gonna have that stacked up very quickly.
Yeah, and you got to imagine too that he's playing this Kuzenbo, and he's going to be in Freya's face, right? You can do that. Bully her around, hit your shell thorns, whatever they're called, for when Freya's coming at you. And now Strat with these 2 kills is the same level as Freya, meaning it is going to be so difficult when a Kuzenbo is stuck on you to get out of it and not die. When he's the same level as you, he's going to be putting out a lot of damage on you. It'll be interesting to see how that works out. iWiffKrakens up pretty far in the jungle here. Just going to do a little Ring around the rosies, get away, but walks over a ward, so now Dragoon knows he's there. Let's see what happens in duo. See if he catches the dash. Goes for that. Nope. Misses the root. Looks like he's up in the sky. Azteck. Very low now. Ibba came over, got some good poke there, but Chubby in a bit of a bad spot. Everybody's collapsing on him. I think he's out for free on this one.
He should be out for free. This is what I wanted to see Ibba do. I think the timing was a little awkward, though, because Azteck has that Breastplate of Valor as we have the 1v1.
Up in the sky is not going to be enough. Just wait for him to come down. Kumba might get there in time. The shell, just a millisecond too late. Dragoon with the solo kill. Well done. Keep that Freya behind is going to be the name of the game, but Dragoon is very low, and Kumba is still fighting him. Could potentially get something here. No, he's going to be healing up. He does have 31 stacks on that Devo glove, so he can heal it up, and Kraken's got to walk away.
Yeah, this is a bit of a rough start for the side lanes of Flourish here. I think Ibba can alleviate that with some good ganks, but if Aztec's going to keep bullying Anime this hard, it's going to be rough.
No. 4 people here, and Anime does not. Oh, and that's the combo you're talking about, but a little bit off. TunaHails does clean that up. A bit of a troll there from Strat going the other way with it. And maybe wasn't expecting to grab him. He was just trying to freehand that ult. The Anime caught without the ult. The ult just came up as he died. Bit unfortunate there, but another kill by the way of Stormcallers. 5-3, 8.5 minutes in. 1,000 gold lead. Not bad. Certainly less than was in game 1. Yeah, 1,400 there. 3K experience lead though. 8 minutes, 9 minutes in. It's pretty tough when you got someone like a Freya that's trying to keep up.
It is very tough. As we see a little bit of 1v1 here, but as Freya's abilities wear off, Dragoon gets 2 as
wow. And the
TunaHails.
up, down, goodbye. Kumba sent TunaHails up in the sky, and as soon as he landed, Ibba landed. Got the beads out of him too, and still got the kill. That's a nasty combo, and not really much you can do about that. So I just hope that someone comes in and, I don't know, Kuzumbo ults them all away. Unfortunately, Kuzumbo not nearby to do that. So now 4-5, a good answer back by Flourish. They seem to do this. They get bopped and then they bop right back, and we might be in for another 50-minute even banger. Now the Freya damage is coming out. Look at this. Fortunately, the stem has gone away, and a roll in from Dragoon up to the sky. Good damage. They're about even now, but now up to the sky for Dragoon. 1, 2, and 3. Goodbye, KaneTempest. See you in a little bit when you spawn. Ibba taking on 3. Got to eat a Susanoo and a Kuzumbo ult. Already dead. Strat with his 3rd kill on this Kuzumbo. Just doing God's work over here.
That is so unlucky to be in the washing machine and then also get knocked up by the Susanoo.
Yeah, it just makes you want to throw up, I'm sure. You're very dizzy after that one.
Just getting bounced around by like a ping pong.
Do you think that maybe Flourish needs to slow this game down a bit? It feels like they're trying to play like they did in late game of game 1, where they're coming in, answer back with the kills, but now it just feels like they're getting picked here and there, trying to come in and answer back. You think maybe they just go back farm game?
They need to slow the game down. They need to somehow stabilize their side lanes. You know, both of their side lanes are 2-3 levels down. They've both taken a couple of spills. They really need to get those lanes stable, because if they don't, I think Stormcallers are just going to be able to run away with it. Rama getting to late game before it's even late game.
Oh no. Pushed under tower. KaneTempest. No ult, nowhere to go. That's just a dead Freya. Huge rotation, and now 4 members from Stormcallers over here ready to get a Gold Fury. There are 3 members of Flourish that could contest if they know what's happening. Doesn't really look like they do know what's happening because no one took Oracles. And already confirmed, Stormcallers with the first Gold Fury of the match, 11.5 minutes in.
And that's what Stormcallers can do. They have a traditional ADC this game. He has a fully stacked Evos. He already has his Executioner online. They can shred these objectives just like that. And they have the Ra for the secure.
But not phased. Goes in on a level 13 ROM. Misses the scythe, but that's okay. Just could get it back here, but here comes Strat with the Nene, ready to get his 4th kill of the game, up to the sky. Followed by Rom, who's maybe just waiting for him to land. Not going to get the chance. Now he's going to dump the snipes onto KaneTempest, who's already half health. Strat keeping him at bay, and Dragoon just sending it through. A good whoop, but the answer with the beads, and now KaneTempest in the sky, and now Dragoon in the sky because of Kumbhakarna. ChubbyOstrich gets the kill on over at the Stygian Beacon. Azteck answers back onto KaneTempest. Where'd he come from? Lycon gets Chubby, who was 2v1ing on the Stygian Beacon and ended up with a kill, and then finally died to Lycon. Bloodbath all over the place. I don't even know where Azteck came from. He just showed up randomly.
Yeah, you know, he's a solo laner, and he appeared between the tier 2 and tier 1 in duo lane.
and he upgraded. We're 12 minutes in. He has 2 items online. He upgraded his TP just to make that play happen. That's an impressive move.
He's got the lead. He's doing what he needs to do. He can rotate around the map and apply his pressure to other lanes, and just keep everybody else behind on Flourish.
Why not, right? 2 levels up. Why not go over there and see if we can make it happen? Ibba up into the sky, gonna look to land on Lycon, gets the execute. Very nice play. Anime goes up just because he was tanking the tower. Azteck looking to take on 2. He is the average of both of their levels. Could maybe make it happen. Anime gonna stun him out and just leave him in lane so Ibba can walk away. Chubby looking at 2, but the 1v1 over in duo continues. Kane not phased. Does have haste and ring. It is up now. Dragoon just chasing him down. Thing about Freya is you gotta wait for that stem to come back up. Here it is. Had shield buff and now it's gone. The autos aren't quite there for Kane, but they are there for Dragoon. Gonna get his 3rd kill of this match and another solo kill. And Kumbhakarna gonna send Strat up into the sky because he was on top of ChubbyOstrich, who is very low. TunaHails, 2 Aegis, and oh, the spirit ball over the wall, just not enough. And Dragoon from the sky is gonna get the snipe. That would have been the coolest spirit ball. But TunaHails had just randomly stopped to try and ult him, and lived because of it. What a lucky play.
Oh. The whole Dragoon has backup here, as Ibba gets blown up.
Oh, into the passive goes Kumbhakarna, but now going to take a forever sleep for about 20 seconds. That was such a cool interaction, the knock up from the Susano ult straight into the carry from Strat, just keeping someone in the air. There's just so much disruption in this team comp from Stormcallers. It feels impossible to deal with. Dragoon has no mana and is still pushing this in. KaneTempest, quarter HP. Look at Lycon around the back. Don't forget about him. Where you're going to go to the sky is the only option. Valkyrie's discretion going to get him out now, but Strat looking to go in deep. They have a T2 up and they're diving Phoenix for kills here. Stormcallers just want to end this set right now, it feels like.
I mean, they're in a great position to do so. They're 7,000 gold up as Strat gets ulted. I'm not sure he's making it out of this one.
He should be dead here even without the Ibba ult. Probably not going to commit it. ChubbyOstrich comes over. But that leaves Pyro open for the boys in red. They're going to get that one. Primal Fury coming up soon too. We're 16 minutes in and a substantial lead for the Stormcallers.
Yeah. KaneTempest needs help.
Yeah.
He is 5 levels down. That is not where you want to be as a Freya.
Yeah, and like I said, a level down to Strat now, who can just bully him all he wants. I agree they need to come over and help this Freya, but what are you giving up on the other side of the map? Because you got to commit a lot to come deal with a level 17 Rama, assuming no one else is there. So it's a little give or take. Maybe you cut your losses. KaneTempest isn't worth a lot of XP right now if he dies. Maybe just like, okay, he's 0-6, let him farm. If he dies, it's fine. We're controlling the rest of the map. I don't know, but something's got to change here for Flourish. Their season on the line. This is semifinals. They're down by 1 in a best of 3. Something has to change in the next couple minutes, and it could be with ganking this Azteck down in the bottom right corner. It was proxying a double wave all the way over here and is now got to fight 4 members of Flourish. But that could all be a ruse because Stormcallers is on Primal Fury right now, and they just took it. Ibba takes Azteck, but is that worth Chiron?
You know, if it's all going to Ibba,
Look at this.
it's not the worst, but they're pulling fire.
Look at this.
Tuna knows.
Somebody come and look at this. There's a level 17 fire giant being started up, but it actually just starts a massive fight. Anime barely gets up into the cloud, and Strat is here to just try and kill everybody with a fed Kuzumbo. Ibba chasing down Lycon, but TunaHails cleans up ChubbyOstrich in the background, up into the sky and down, misses, and a blink out from Lycon. It was a delayed blink. Either way, he was alive. Here come the snipes. Ibba, 1, 2 is off the mark, 3 is also off the mark, didn't have vision on him, and now a good cleanup. That's a double kill for Dragoon. What's going on the other side of the map? Kumba just trying to keep people away from his base. 18 minutes in, Stormcallers are pushing to tier 2.
That fire giant call was ambitious.
Good word, ambitious.
It almost feels like a last-ditch effort.
Oh, Kane. Kane gone, did what he could. Dragoon very low, though. They could get him here. He said, oh, committed, and Dragoon looked like he ages it. Is still alive somehow. Someone kill this man. Don't let him walk away. 6 and 1 on the ROM. They get a Phoenix, and they walk away 18 minutes in. Ambitious fire giant, but honestly, I think ambitious plays are all you got right now.
They really are.
Ooh, a good kill from Ibba. Catching a lazy back there.
Ambitious plays are how Flourish have to get back in, but there's a fine line between ambitious and too ambitious. And they have to not cross that line because, that fire giant call was a little too ambitious and they lost a mid Phoenix for it.
Yeah, and it might have been because they don't have traditional ADC, right? You got a level 13 Freya with Hasten Ring and Telekines online. You're not going to burn that thing. Even with Ibba helping on the Thanatos, you're not going to burn that fire giant right now. So had they had a traditional ADC that was up in levels with the ROM, maybe you sneak that one with the ESET ult. But they tried it. It didn't work. They paid the price. It's about what they can do now. Mid lane fight has started up. Chubby getting knocked around and is dead. Dragoon with his 7th kill. Jumping in to get some more. Turn around. Ult up into the sky just for Goomba can get some distance. Freya's gone back to the lane to try and farm. There's nothing in the mid lane for Stormcallers here, so they're going to head over to the fire giant.
As they should. They have all the pressure in the world. They kind of can do whatever they want on the map right now with this 11,000 gold lead and growing.
Would a 20-minute fire giant be ambitious for Stormcallers here? Does it look like they're going to start it up? Lycon might
Absolutely
be catching KaneTempest sleeping here. Take a look. There's a Susano. Be careful. Fire giant is started up in the background. Keep your eyes on it. No one's there to contest. Dash in. We do have Valkyrie's discretion. It is used now, but it's going to be too little too late. Fire giant goes the way of Stormcallers easily. People coming over to help with the Lycon in the left, and Anime getting melted away. Lycon cleans up KaneTempest, and now got to deal with a Thanatos who missed the ult. He beats it regardless. He's probably going to fall here. Kumba comes in to help. Ibba gets that one, but all of Stormcallers is pushing down right lane right now. Fire minions in mid. Ibba's not there. ChubbyOstrich isn't there. iWiffKrakens isn't there. Ibba's still not there because the minions stopped him. They're pushing under Phoenix right now. 4 on 3. Anime gonna blink in, and it's gone already. It's gone. You have a level 20 Rama. He erased it, and he got a kill onto Anime. They're pushing in the Titan room, Chiron. It's 21 minutes. Another is dead. Chubby is gone. KaneTempest doing whatever he can to try and stop this. A Celestial Beam comes out and Searing Pain to do some damage. Dragoon has another one. What are they going to do here to stop it? They haven't even looked at the Titan yet, but so many of them are dead. There's 3 dead. Minions are pouring in. KaneTempest is 1 HP. Dragoon looking for the 4th. TunaHails gets that one. And now it is just a Titan and a Kumba. But they are very low. It looks like they're going to end it 21 minutes in after a 50-minute game. Stormcallers come in and sweep Flourish and head to the finals for Godlike. Did you think it was going to go that way, Chiron?
Wow. No.
What an
No,
end.
that game went from 0 to 240 miles an hour in the blink of an eye.
Yes, it did. I mean, it was night and day from game one. I don't know if it was just mental shot for Flourish playing a 50-minute game that you end up losing, even though it could have been your game easily. It's got to play a toll on your mentals. And then coming in, it just seemed like Stormcallers were ready for game two and Flourish wasn't.
Yeah, I think the early death of Ibba from the rotation of Strat getting the Nene bounce off under tower kind of took any momentum that they had from the first blood,
Mm-hmm.
and it all just kind of felt like Stormcallers from there. As weird as it sounds, but I think from that point on, it was just Stormcallers saying, "Hey, we're here. Come at us. You can't beat us." And they put their money where their mouth was.
Well, a big congratulations to the Stormcallers moving on to the finals. Flourish, we've absolutely loved watching them all season. Such exciting players, giving us some of the best moments over this season 3. It just been great to watch. And it sucks it ends here for them after all the hard work they put in, but it just be like that sometimes, and there's always another season around the corner. That being said, big congratulations once more to Stormcallers. They will be headed to the Godlike finals. Can't wait to see what they pull out there. That's all we have for this evening. I've been iNooblet, joined by Cairo, captain of the Divine Stormcallers, on the desk. I hope you've enjoyed this one and stick around. There will be more playoff action. Got more Godlike coming up soon, and then all of the finals right around the corner. We'll hope to see you there. Have a great night.
I see everything around me changing again.